anyone hear me? Okay, so my my laptop is messed up. So you're supposed to be able to open and close a laptop lid, but I can't because it's broken and it's stuck in an upright position at a 90-degree angle, so I can't adjust the way things look very well. But anyway, enough about my laptop. This laptop is my only computer that has a camera, and that's the only reason I'm using it because my real good computer is a desktop. It's a desktop running Debian Linux. It's right on the table behind me. It's awesome. I'm a nerd. I'm a chess nerd and a computer programming nerd. I'm autistic, in case you hadn't figured that out. So I want to explain what I'm doing here. Now, let's see, do I sit back or forward? See, details. Okay, so here's the thing. So I need to explain what you're seeing on your screen here. On the left side of this video is me. This is me. This is my human body. This is what I look like. This is my checkerboard shirt, obviously, because obviously chess, right? Okay. And on the right, you see an animation I made. Now, this animation is cool. Now, how did I make this animation? Well, computer programming. See, what happened is I have been doing programming for 20 years, and I came up with this method for drawing checkerboards. There's a function I wrote, it's Chastity, checker, whatever. And I found out that I'm really good at not only writing code to draw checkerboards, but by changing the variables, I can do various things. So this animation that you see here, this is not a GIF image. This is not a video file. This is modifiable, like at any time. And I'm going to demonstrate to you because I'm going to be playing chess, obviously, because that's what this stream is about. But I just had to show you this. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I got the window focused. So now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let's see here. Yeah, there now we're going to the right. Yeah, so now the checkerboard animation is going to the right. I can make it go to the left. I can change direction to the left. I can make it go up. I can make it stop. I can make it go down. I can make it go down left. I can make it go down right. I can make it go up right. I can make it go up left. But that's not all. I can make it go faster. So yeah. So now I've made the animation go a lot faster. I can still change the direction to any direction I like. It's cool. I've named this program, like, I call it Checkerboard Explorer. The idea is that you're exploring a checkerboard of infinite size. That's basically it. Checkerboard Explorer, that's what I call it. And technically the code is on GitHub, but you would never guess which repository if I didn't tell you. I'm writing a programming book. I'm writing way too many books. I'm writing way too many books. I'm a writer. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the crazy thing. But obviously, I can just go insane with this. Like I can make this animation. Whoa. Okay. That's pretty fast there. Yeah, I like that. There we go. Ooh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I have full control over this animation. This is just awesome. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, yeah. And of course, I can stop it right in the middle of anything, and then I can keep going. Anyway, okay, okay, I'm going to make this go back, but I'm going to increase the speed just a little bit. Okay, so anyway, enough about me and my silly animation there. Um, So this is my Twitch stream. Probably nobody's watching because I don't have hardly any followers, and the times in which I stream are very erratic. And I never even know when I'm going to do it. So let me explain how my day went. So I get off work at Walmart at 7 a.m. approximately. And then my coworker Tim actually gave me a ride home. Tim is pretty nice. He gives me a ride as long as I let him talk about books and Dr. Demento, whoever that is. I need to look that up. Um, so here's the thing. I get so exhausted from work. I came home, I ate cereal, and I went straight to bed. Now, I wanted to take a shower, but I was too tired to take a shower. So then I ended up sleeping probably until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And then I finally took a shower. I got in these clean clothes. This is what I wear at home mostly. Mostly just this outfit when I am not wearing my scrubs, which I work in. Um, so I slept and then I got up and I thought, well, I have so much to do. Now, here's the thing you have to understand. I only get 2 nights of the week off. I'm extremely busy. So on Saturday night or Monday night, everything else that I do, all of my passions, all of my writing, it all has to be done in only those 2 nights. And honestly, this life sucks because the fact that I only get 2 nights and only a few hours of which I'm awake and alert at all because I sleep most of the day and I have to catch up on missed sleep. It's crazy. But anyway, enough about how my life sucks. Um, Let me talk about some projects I'm working on here. So there's the story of Chad, a novel that I'm writing about a man named Chad who is a soccer player in a small town called Podunk. So that's the novel I'm writing. I have 7 chapters so far, and I was gonna get up and I was gonna write about that, but then stuff happened. I had to make my chess moves, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm gonna get on my Windows 11 laptop here because I was gonna work on something. So there's a development kit called W64 Dev Kit that I'm thinking of incorporating into my book project about programming because it's such a convenient way for people who are on Windows to get started programming. Programming on Windows is not as easy as it is on Linux because there's so many different choices for compilers and ways to fine tune, okay, which folder are we installing this into and which version is this? And then installing libraries is not as straightforward as sudo apt install lib dash sdl2, whatever, something like that. So Linux is easy. Using Windows is hard for me as a programmer, but basically I use Windows now that I've graduated with a creative writing degree. I only use my Windows computer when I'm streaming because it has a camera, or if I'm going to specifically compile a Windows version of something. Interesting fact. So my Tetris game, which is on Steam, Chastity, um, it's compiled and runs under Windows because most people have Windows. Not that anybody plays my Tetris game on Steam, but hey, it's there. Um, but interestingly, I have Steam installed on Debian Linux on my computer behind me, and all of the Windows games like Tetris Effect Connected, and even the new Tetris, the Grandmaster 4, and Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 6. Like I can get Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster running on Linux because Steam has this thing called Proton that is like a Windows emulation thing, so you can run Windows games under Linux because Steam has a Linux version. Ironically, my games on Steam run faster on my Linux computer than they do on my Windows 11 laptop, which says something about the quality both of the Linux operating system as well as the desktop computer that my friend Jamie sent me. So there's that. Anyway, I know I'm ranting a little bit about technology, but you have to understand I'm excited about technology. So I'm writing a computer programming book. I'm writing a novel about a man named Chad. But also, what's happened recently is that my chess streams have just gone out of style lately because I haven't been streaming my chess stuff lately. I've been too tired. When I'm home, all I can do is sleep. And so I haven't had any fun. I haven't had any fun. And even though writing can be fun, unfortunately, last time I had a night off, I spent like the whole night writing, and it was emotional. Partly because I was writing in the Chad story, because it's going to deal with some tough topics. So I decided that tonight is a night where I should play some chess. That's my plan for the stream, is to play some chess. And now that I'm in my new place, because in June I moved into this place. This is a shared house. I have 5 roommates, um, but this is all I could afford on my income because I work at Walmart. I work full time at Walmart, and that takes all my time. I'm actually working 45 hours a week. I'm working overtime. Um, and so that's life. Is I've been too busy and too tired to play chess. And one time I was playing chess with my mom, and I fell asleep. Like I can't. I'm so embarrassed. I fell asleep playing chess. And the question remains now. I've played probably close to 100 games with my mom in chess, and she's only beat me once. Now the question is, did she outwit me through genius, or was I just so tired because I'm not getting enough sleep that I just made terrible moves? Either way, she won, and I'm quite proud of her for beating me in chess once. So anyway, um, I suppose I'm gonna start playing some chess. Actually, before I start playing some regular chess for this stream, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to explain. I want to briefly explain the openings I play and the style behind it, because um, I would kind of like to make my own chess course. I published a book on chess. Oh, by the way. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So this is my book that I wrote, Chastity's Chess Chapters. And there's the backside there, has my picture there. Basically, it's pretty cool. So I wrote this 100-page book about chess, and one of the unique features about this book, because it has a lot of interesting information. For example, take this page. So this is part of the demonstration of how a rook moves. By using green squares to highlight where the rook can move to, then you can see the movement pattern. So chapter 1 covers all the rules of chess. So here's the same thing for the bishop, how the bishop moves diagonally. So I wrote this 100-page book to teach people how to play chess. It's actually really, really cool. I got some cool stuff in here. Let me see if I can find that. Most of the pictures in this book are um are just, grayscale with regular chess, but I have some advanced images. I have the Zhangyi or Shangxi. I can't say it right, but Chinese chess here with the red, green, and blue and those pieces. And over here is Japanese chess. This is shogi. So I have some, yeah, basically I have some interesting pictures in here because I play chess, but I also play Shangxi, which is Chinese chess. So I play all the chess types of games. I play all the chess types of games. And it's kind of interesting because I play on Lichess, and I'm going to begin showing you some stuff about Lichess. I'm going to show you and explain to you why Lichess is really the best chess playing website. So let me switch my scene a little bit here. So this is Lichess that you see on the screen here. Okay, yeah. This is the analysis board. So I can move pieces around, and I can basically play chess with myself if I want to. which is an interesting concept. Um, and one of the things that I really like about, um, yeah, that I love about lead chess and its analysis board is it has information for each chess position. Well, not every chess position because there's infinite, but as you can see there, it has information about the current opening being played. So here's the idea. Now and also this color scheme I have, that's customizable. There's settings where you can customize the colors of the board to a certain degree. It's actually pretty sweet. Um, anyway, so I'm going to show you. Let's see, which was it? Okay, yeah, there it is. So we're going to delete all of the moves. This is a fresh board here. This is a fresh board of the analysis board, and I'm going to show you the generic way that I play standard chess. Um, for whether it's whether I'm playing white or black. So here's the way it usually goes is I do my queen's pawn. And more often than not, my opponent will also do queen's pawn. Once in a while, they'll do something like knight to f6. Sometimes they'll do that. But a lot of times it's queen's pawn, queen's pawn. And then I do the queen's gambit, my favorite chess opening. And this is where things get really freaky because when they accept the gambit, if they take that pawn, then I have the option to move this one or two squares. And they both have their merits, but I just, for some reason, I like better to move it one. And I have psychological reasons for that, which may become clear. Um, but anyway, so then after my opponent makes their move, for whatever reason they do, then you see I can capture this pawn with my bishop. And this is where it gets kind of funky because, my opponent will try to put me in check with their bishop. And I could scare it away with this pawn. That works. But another thing that I like to do is just put a knight in the way. And this is something new I started doing. I started doing something new because I realized part of the reason I've lost a lot of chess games is because I'm so insistent on protecting my knights that then I end up losing the game when there's a opportunity for a knight sacrifice. This is where it gets interesting because let's suppose that my opponent does something and I then move this knight right here, and then my opponent captures my queen there, and then checkmate. You see what I'm saying? I let them capture my queen, but then I checkmate them. Also, notice something. Notice how this pawn that only moved one square from here is protecting that pawn. And there's a very good reason for that, because if I had moved this pawn instead to here, then not only would that knight attack it, but then also this knight could attack that, leaving it undefended. So I have measured in my experience that moving the king's pawn one square is actually better for so many reasons, because people bringing their knights out here is actually very, very popular. And let me explain. Let's delete all the moves on the board here, and let's explain when somebody moves a knight out, for example, like to here. In fact, let's just move that. Then that knight can attack here, 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 and here. However, if the knight were to move somewhere closer to the edge of the board, then it it can only move here or here. For example, well, let's just make a move and then see how you can only move to those. Those little circles are one of those helpful features of lead chess that shows you where a piece can move to. It's especially helpful for people who don't know the rules very well yet. So basically, when you start the game, you're going to want to uh, get your knights out as close to the center of the board. So these are hotspots. These are very common places. So how you position your central pawns is so important in chess. I can't stress it enough. Now, I've shown you how I like to do the Queen's Gambit and trick my opponents with quick checkmates sometimes. But let me explain the approach I use when playing black. This is get interesting because I'm gonna show you the French defense. I just love using the French defense here. Um, because the opponent is going to do their king's pawn 2 squares most of the time. Then I move my king's pawn 1 square. Notice that theme of 1 square of moving the king's pawn. And then they're probably going to do this. And then I have options here. There's a lot of options, infinite options, because in chess, there's just a lot of options here. But so one thing I could do is I could move this pawn here, which is not a bad idea by any means. It's not a bad idea. Um, However, well, you know what? That's going to be the most common thing. Okay, this is so common, so I'm going to teach this. So here is where we have the exchange variation, where white captures that pawn and the black captures back. The exchange variation, the French defense, is interesting. It's absolutely fine, because now everyone's bishops can get out. So it's a game where the bishops start attacking. So that's fine. But that's not worth much study. What's much more interesting is the advanced variation. This is more interesting because it changes everything up. The advanced variation, I just like it a lot more. It's funny because what happens here is there's a lot of options. One thing I really like to do, I just really like to do this, is I like to move this rook's pawn 1 square. And the reason is because that prevents the bishop from coming here, because if the bishop comes here, then I just capture. So it's usually a good idea to move this out. But this gets so much freakier. So let's have the opponent make a move here. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to get this 2 squares here. And similar to the Queen's Gambit, this is the black version of the Queen's Gambit. What we're doing here is we're trying to trick them into taking that so that we can capture back with the bishop. That's how it works. That's how it's done, my friends. So the opponent is going to move out their knights because that's what people like to do because it's a good move generally. But this is where the French defense gets so interesting because now you're going to start seeing, like, for example, they can try to threaten my queen and fork my bishop and my queen. But now look at this, the queen and the bishop are already aligned here, so we can put them in check. And then the opponent will, of course, have to move somewhere. Now, if the opponent moves here, then we just go here and we checkmate them. So that's actually checkmate. Of course, in this specific example, if they moved here instead, it would be a whole different matter. But even in this case, it's not the worst thing in the world because even though I can't checkmate because this bishop stops my queen from going there, I still have other options, such as putting my opponent in check there. The king takes the bishop, but then I take the knight. So, as you see, the point with the French defense is you're going to try to do a black queen's gambit. You're going to try to get the opponent to move their their pawn here so you can capture it. You get the queen and the bishop lined up, and you start doing an attack against the king there. It's usually super effective. So I have a strategy. I always have a strategy when I begin playing chess that I'm using. That's my basic opening repertoire. Like what I've done is I've come up with a list of things that I do. There's things that I do in chess that I've memorized, and I have to keep it very small for my limited memory. My brain doesn't hold much information. So I've had to memorize these openings so that I can recite it like live in a stream like this at any time. The reasoning behind why I play these openings. And they're really cool. So here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my profile. Now, my ratings are not very impressive because I've been so tired that when I do play chess, I just lose all the time. Like, guys, I've been losing all the time lately. And that's because I'm tired. But you know what? Even when I lose, I still have fun. So here's what I'm going to do. Um, Notice that my bullet rating is exactly 1,000. I played 132 games. Because my bullet rating is exactly 1,000, I'm not playing any more bullet. I want to leave it at exactly 1,000. I don't want 1,001. I don't want 999. It's 1,000. That's a good number to leave it at, and I don't. So I'm not playing any more bullet. I'm just not doing it. So instead, let's see if I can get my rapid rating to um, 1,500. That's my goal. Can I get my rapid rating to 1,500 or higher? I would really like to get it to exactly 1,500 though. That's what I want to do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a game. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a standard, yeah, real time, and we want it to be okay, let's see here. Okay, so here's what we can do. So rapid, okay. So yeah, there's different settings here. So apparently, if I do, let's see here, because if you do 25 minutes, it's considered classical. If you do 20 minutes, it's rapid. Now you can do a 10-minute or 8-minute. Yeah, you can do an 8-minute rapid, or you could do a 20-minute rapid. Very interesting. But what I have noticed, my friends, what I have noticed is the longer the time control, the more time there is on the clock, the more often I win. Because I'm a slow thinker. And another thing is, I also like having adequate time to explain things. So I'm going to begin a 20-minute rapid, 20 minutes on each person's clock. Let's see if anybody accepts Chastity's chess challenge. Because that's what this is the lobby. People create the type of game that they want to play. You know, what's the time control? Which variant are we playing? So I'm just waiting. Will somebody accept my challenge? That's what I'm waiting for. And if somebody accepts my challenge, then I can begin playing. And I like to explain because, yeah, I could just record or stream me playing chess with no commentary, but that's boring, right? It's much more fun to have the commentary behind it, to have the reasoning behind it. But will anybody accept? Or do I have to select somebody else's challenge? Hmm. Yeah, because I see. I really want to work on my rapid rating right now, so I'm hoping that somebody accepts my challenge. Yeah, but will they? Hmm. Yeah, usually I can get somebody to join pretty quickly. Nobody's accepting my challenge. All right, I'll accept somebody else's challenge. Okay, I'm in a game. Somebody else wanted to do a 16-minute, which is more than enough time for me to think adequately. Okay, see, I'm going to use the French defense. They do kings upon two squares, I do the French defense. That's the way this works, people. Okay, now here, I don't really want to move this pawn here because then this pawn and that knight would both be attacking it if I did that. So instead, let's just do something different for now. Let's get this pawn moved out, preventing the bishop from moving there. Because, like I said, we don't want the bishop to go there. And then, what we're going to do now is let's get this pawn moved two squares here. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Because now their queen's pawn is slightly less likely to move two squares. It still could. I would capture them. They would capture back with their knight. Oh, interesting. They moved that just one square. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now is I'm going to see, do I want to move my queen out or do I want to move my knight? I think I'm actually going to move the knight out first. In general, you want to move your less valuable pieces, um, out before you start moving your queen out, obviously. But also, don't move out your queen too early, but also don't wait till it's too late for it to be of use. There's a lot of chess advice. Each chess coach has their different way that they like to teach things or what's effective. So now, what do we have? Well, this is interesting because if I were to move this knight here, what will happen? Let's see, what do they do? Yeah, see, I'm moving the knight there. I'm kind of wanting the option to castle. Not sure if I'm actually going to castle or not, but I want the option to be there. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Interestingly, they moved the knight there. So that knight, it targets this and this pawn, but both of which are protected. But here's the tricky thing. If Yeah, this is only protected by my king. If their knight goes there and takes that pawn, my king would have to capture it. And if my king captures it, then they bring the bishop out here, then they have me in check. And then, well, I can move that pawn out of the way, which isn't the worst thing in the world necessarily. But honestly, guys, I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure about this. Um, Well, let's just see how it plays out because I don't really see any really bad threats. Let's see here. Let's get this one moved out right here. We're going to move that 2 squares. See what they decide to do. See, I like to think about this. When I do bullet or blitz chess, like I don't do well at all. I like to really think about why am I doing this? And sometimes, if you play a lot of blitz chess where you have to think fast, then even in classical games, it causes you to get in a bad habit where it's like, oh, I better move fast. But reality is, your classical rating will suffer if you play lower time controls too much. Because then you get thinking, oh, I should move in a second. No, no, you should not do that. You should take your time and consider the best move. It's like you don't like apply for a job without thinking about it. You don't marry someone without thinking about it. Well, actually, people do that, but humans are a bad example. I mean, human relationships are a very bad example. Um, Stay single, play chess. That's my advice to the world. That's what I do. Also, nobody wants me, so that's another issue. But anyway, oh, okay. Let's see. Now they've done that. So, okay. So I could try to chase their knight away with that pawn, but I don't really know if that's what I need to do. I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure what it is that I really want to do here. Um, I think, because I could do that, but is that the right thing that I should do? Honestly, not too sure. Okay, this might seem a little bit weird, but it might be good just to start getting some pieces into the action here. For example, if I move this bishop over here, then it gets out of my way of my king, so my king can castle. But at the same time, this bishop also protects this, but it guards this in case that pawn decides to move there. So I mean, it's good to get the bishops out. Also notice that because I moved the king's pawn one square, this bishop is technically blocked. It can't really go much of anywhere. But honestly, it's often better to keep it around, just so that it can block a check diagonally. But I'm probably going to castle. It's probably what I'm going to do here. We're going to see how this goes. See, this is the thing about chess. It's a game of patience. Nothing's happening quick here. You just have to wait for your opponent to move. A lot of people, they are not stimulated by rapid or classical chess. They want some blitz or bullet chess. They need things to move fast. But I actually found a much better way. So earlier I recorded playing some chess on my phone, and I just sped it up 10 times when I uploaded it to Instagram. Apparently, when you upload something to Instagram from your phone, there's a speed option to make it up to 10 times as fast. So if people think chess is too slow and they want it to move fast, well, you just increase the speed of the video. So it's playing 10 times as fast. It works. Why not? But for the best quality of moves, it's better to stick with higher time controls. In fact, this stuff is measurable. For example, um, it's possible on Lichess. Let me talk about Lichess. Lichess is it's free and open source. It's a nonprofit organization. You can donate to it, but you don't have to. It has like 8 chess variants. It's really cool. And another thing it allows you to do is it allows you to download a database of your own games that you've played. And you can choose, do you want the download database to include your Blitz or your Rapid or your Classical or your correspondence games? Which do you want it to include, your chess variants like Crazy House or 3 Check? Like there's all these options, man. The Lichess gives you options, but you still have to improve at chess on your own. You still have to, in order to get good at chess, you gotta study, you gotta practice. So play lots of chess on Lichess, but analyze your databases as well. My throat is messed up. Honestly, I haven't been feeling all that well lately. But oh, okay. They decided to okay, they decided to go that route and capture that. Okay, I can deal with that. Okay, I see what they're doing now. So here, they've got both that knight and that bishop targeting that pawn there. Hmm. What can I do? Okay, this might seem a little bit weird, but I think I'm actually going to put the king in check before they try to castle and do something like that. Let's see how that happens. Let's see what happens. What do they do about it? Okay, very cool. So now, okay, should we play a queenless game? All right, let's do it. Let's capture the queen, then they will capture back with either their bishop, their king, or their knight. Now, notice that they use the knight to capture there, which of course that removes one of the defenders on that pawn, one of the attackers, I mean. So now this bishop won't capture this pawn just yet because then the knight captures back. This means it buys me just a little bit more time. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to castle now. gonna castle. I'm gonna get my king moved over here. This is very weird. But see, now neither side has a queen. So if somebody wants a queen, they have to get a pawn on the other side to promote it to a queen, because you can do that in chess. Chess is an amazing game. So yeah, I haven't played chess very much lately, and I'm just trying to play a little bit of chess tonight to have some fun. Because I'll have to go back to bed, and then I see my mom tomorrow, and we record our Sunday podcast. I've been doing podcasts with my mom, and it's been a lot of fun. She prepares her outline of what we're going to talk about. She's really getting into it. It's kind of cool. Okay, they moved the knight there. Okay. Now do I want to do that? See, I could do that, then they could do that, and then I could do that. Then they could do that. It might actually be better to, since they're both attacking, both that bishop. Yeah, see this, yeah, let me get my mouse. This knight and this bishop are attacking this pawn. And if I move the pawn, then the bishop takes my knight. It might actually be better to move the knight over here and just add more defense to that pawn. That might actually be a much better move. So that's what I'm going to try here, because they're less likely to try moving that there. Of course, I could have also put them in check. Oh, freaky. Okay, yeah, well, that's wild. So I think what I want to do is I want to put the king in check like that. Let's see how this works. Then where will they go? I'm very curious of where the king is going to go. Or are they going to block with a bishop? Or the knight? See, they have a lot of options of how they can block the check, so this is not a very effective attack. The main thing is, I don't like the positioning of their pieces, and I'm trying to force them to move pieces just to mess them up. Okay, I can live with that. So now what we have here is now let's scare this knight away. Let's force that knight to move somewhere. It'll move somewhere. We don't know where yet. But considering that its only safe spots are here and here, I'm going to predict it's going to move to one of those two squares. Let's see if I'm right. Also, I love how I can just right click and I can mark places on the board. It's pretty sweet. So now they're trying to attack my knight there. Well, that's not a real problem because, see, my knight can just move right back to where it was. No harm done at all. This is turning out to be a very epic chess game. We're completely even here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, each side has 7 pawns, 2 knights, 2 bishops, 2 rooks, no queen, and of course a king. There's always a king. Okay, this is weird. So, how about let's move this bishop here. I'm going to move that bishop there with the idea of putting pressure on this knight here. We're attacking that knight, but that knight can't move, see, because that would put the king in check. So instead, they chose to add defense to that knight by doing that. I mean, that's not bad. Um, let's see here. What do I want to do about this? Honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it. I'm not even sure. Um, I okay. This is kind of a wild idea, but I think I'm actually going to move this knight right here because see, this knight can't capture it because that would put the king in check. So this is just turning into an insane mess here. Pieces moving around, but nobody's capturing anybody. This is kind of some high level chess because when you start seeing people just capture things without any care, that's kind of like beginner level. But when you start moving pieces around, trying to get everything in a position and then waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, that's how you win. You wait for your opponent to make the critical mistake that's going to cost them the game. And usually that person is me that makes the mistake because I'm too tired to play chess because I work at Walmart. But anyway, let's see if I'm going to win this one or not. Because no matter how many times I lose, when I win, it's so satisfying. I love chess. Oh man. My rook over there in the corner is not really doing very much. It's really not. Okay, so now what they've done there is they made an interesting situation here. So my bishop, yeah, because see now this bishop is in kind of a weird spot. So it kind of has to move out of the harm's way there. So let's move this bishop, but where to? Okay, yeah, let's move that bishop right there. Because it still is, it's a good place for a bishop. It's safe right now anyway. It's a pretty safe spot. Man, this is the kind of chess I live for. This is great. This is absolutely great. Okay. You know, I probably should have specified better with the title and description of this chess stream. This is epic, but oh well. Live streams are only saved for 7 days unless I highlight the recording, so it doesn't matter. But nobody's watching right now. Okay. That's interesting. So now that that king has castled, we see that this knight could capture this knight. That very well could happen. So let's put them in check. We're going to put their king in check. We're going to sacrifice that knight to take down their knight. That's how we're going to play this. Okay. And then what will we do here? Okay, I'm going to try something. It's going to be a little bit weird. But I think I'm going to try moving this rook right here. And I have a reason behind it. I just don't know if it's a good reason or not. But we're still completely even on the pieces. Oh, oh, oh man. Okay, so now they've done that. So I can move the bishop back a step. In fact, let's just move this bishop all the way to here, because this bishop will be safe right there. It's totally fine. their bishop is kind of trapped over there between that pawn and that knight. Like it's just trapped. That bishop can't move. That bishop could move, but has no place to go over there. Dark square bishop doesn't have very good options. The light square bishop can't move to any place. Okay, like I'm looking at this, my opponent is a minute and a half behind me in their time remaining. We're even on pieces, but positionally they're very bad. They haven't even moved their rook in the corner. They just castled. I think I'm gonna win this one because I'm just seeing how trapped my opponent looks. Like their pieces just are just not in very good places. At least that's how it comes across to me, just looking at it. One of my roommates is talking. It's very disturbing. But I won't complain about them if they don't complain about me. Okay. So that, do that. Okay, I'm just gonna proceed with what I was gonna do. Let's advance this pawn one square forward and then see what the opponent does. Okay. They've moved that pawn there. Now what can I do about that pawn being there? Probably not very much, honestly. Oh. Okay. Well, nothing's really happening here. Not really much of anything. Now this bishop, he can't do much. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move this bishop here and threaten that pawn there. That pawn will probably move. I mean, it's fine if it does. I just need to get my bishop active and doing something of value. Now that bishop has moved, interestingly, that move did nothing to stop me from taking this pawn here. I still get to capture that pawn, which is a small thing. It only means I'm one pawn ahead in material. But what are they planning to do? Oh, okay. So I'm going to get this moved here. Yeah, all right. Gonna move that there. My pawns are in a nice little pyramid structure there for the moment. I think I'm winning, guys. Okay. All right. What are they doing there? I don't know, but I'm going to attack their, yeah, I'm going to attack their bishop that way with that pawn. That should be fine. Oh, okay, they're going after my knight. Huh. Well, they could capture my knight, and if they do, then, oh, I see. If my knight moves, then it removes the defender from here, and then that. Okay. I see how it is. Okay, so here's what I'm actually going to do. is because I don't really know if moving the king's a good option right now. Wait a minute. Oh, I could do that. Okay, I need to be able to capture that bishop back in some way after it captures my knight. So I'm actually going to move this rook here, so that when the bishop takes my knight, I will capture the bishop with my rook. Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. Um, okay. I kind of had a feeling they would do that, and now they're threatening that. So it's probably best for me to move this rook somewhere like here, and then I'll take the pawn after their knight moves out of the way. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll be able to take their pawn because their knight's gonna move because the knight doesn't want to get captured. See, and they can't defend it with one of their rooks. They're way back there. And see, now they're threatening my rook here, but that's not actually a threat because my rook's gonna move and capture the bishop. I'm completely winning, guys. Now I'm winning because I have two bishops and two rooks, and they have one knight and two rooks. If they still had both knights, it might be even, because bishops and knights are close in value in terms of capability, but man. Ooh, wow. I'm playing good tonight. I'm playing good tonight. My opponent's going to run out of time, though. If I don't checkmate them, they're probably just going to run out of time. That's probably what's going to happen here. Okay, let's capture that pawn. I'm capturing the pawns here. So now, what are we going to do here? Interesting. Okay, I don't know what they're doing there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack their rook over there. Oh, okay. Oh, white resigned. Black is victorious. My opponent resigned when they realized what a mistake they made. Because, see, they were attacking my rook here, but I could have just moved it, and then we'd be in a similar situation. It's not a threat. I totally won that game. Whew, wow. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, I'm gonna go use the restroom. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, let's see here. Let's see, actually, well, yeah. I'm just gonna go use the restroom and I'm gonna start the next chess game. Alright, here we are. I've won one game, and the fact that I won that game means I might be up to winning another game. Let's see how this goes. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Here's a rapid game. 10 minutes on each side of the clock here. All right. Yes, Queen's Gambit. That's the way to do it. They can accept or decline. Ooh, the Alban counter gambit. All right, yeah, they're using the Alban counter gambit. I want to make sure I don't fall into the Lasker trap, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see how it is. So if I capture with the pawn, then they capture my other pawn with their knight. But if I capture with the queen, then we end up in a possible queen trade. Let's see. Should we play the queenless game again? What are they going to do? Oh, we're doing it without queens again. We're doing it again. Okay, so I lost a pawn, but they lost two pawns. I mean, that's not bad. It's really not bad. And now that we've gotten so many things out of the way, let's have this pawn come behind that pawn and protect it. And also that allows my bishop to move. So once again, it's a queenless game. There's no queen here. Yeah, this is nice. Oh man. Hmm. All right. Well, that is doing that there. I mean, I can just protect that pawn with that pawn. Let's have the entire diagonal pawn chain going here. Doesn't hurt anything to try. Oh, okay, so they're going to put me in check. But, I mean, that's not much of a threat, really. I can put the bishop in the way, or I could just move the king. It's probably just better to move the king here. That's what I'm kind of thinking is the good thing to do. Yeah, we're just going to move the king. Because we can. Okay, now they got their king way over there. I see it. That's see what they're doing here. So let's hmm. Well, okay. Let's get this bishop moved right here. That's what I'm going to do. Attack that knight. See where it goes. See, now they've done that. Okay, so should the king move back to where it was? Yeah, the king will just move back to where it was. I mean, why not? Doesn't hurt anything. I just didn't want to move it to the other spot because I didn't want to block my other bishop. And I certainly did not want to move it in front of my pawns there. Because then the knights can start putting me in check, and then I lose the advantage I had. Okay, so now we're going to be able to take that pawn right there. So I'm two pawns ahead in this game so far. Neither side has a queen. So far, so good. Okay, well, hmm. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna put this pawn right there so their bishop can't put my king in check again. Okay, now we have that going on. They can do that. So what do I do here? Okay, let's just move this bishop away here, because if I do that, yeah, let's just retreat the bishop. The bishop has no business being over there. Its only purpose going over there was to take the pawn. Also, I'm behind on time. So I actually do need to move a little bit faster than this. Okay, I did that. All right. Not a problem, really. Let's see here. Let's just put this bishop right there. Attack that knight. Okay, they're doing that, but then I'm just going to capture that knight right there. That's what I'm going to do. They're going to capture back with the pawn, which is an acceptable thing to do also. Wait, what? I lost. They checkmated me. I did not. Okay, I did not notice that this knight guards that spot. This bishop guards that spot. If I had moved this, I should have moved the knight there. That's what I should have done. Well, except technically my bishop was there, but you know what I mean. Okay, you know what? That's a good ending. I had an epic chess game where I played really well. I totally won, and then I get checkmated in the stupidest way there. Well played. And also, this is the automatic message. Good game, well played. That is an automatic message that it sends to your opponent when they beat. Actually, that's how it always ends. Whether it was well played or not, never mind. I'm tired. So, you know what? I feel better. I feel better after playing some chess. Oh, oh, hey, we have a commenter. Hey, hello, Equinox. I see you. I see you, Equinox. Are you still there? Yeah, I was not. Oh, nice. So do you play chess, Equinox? Because if you play, like we could actually play together. Um because I'm still live. I'm still streaming right now. I haven't ended it yet. I was about to end it, but then I saw your comment here. Do you play on Chess or chess.com? Oh, you say you're trash, huh? Well, you just saw me get my ass kicked. Maybe you stand a chance. I don't know. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Um, do you play on Chess or chess.com or another site? Okay, you play on chess.com. Interesting. Also, I want to show you something cool here. This is one of my scenes in OBS Studio. You see my camera here, and you see my chessboard animation on the right. I made an animation with my programming skills. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. Oh, okay. So he gave me his chess.com username. Okay. Equinox Tremor. Okay. Yes. Nice. Okay. Nice. Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my main we're gonna go back to my main scene here. I'm gonna see if I can find you on chess.com. Okay, we're gonna go to chess.com. Let's see here. And let's search here. I'm gonna search for Equinox Tremor. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. I do not know how. Ah, stupid pop up. I hate the pop up. See, this guys. This is why I don't play on. Yeah. Okay. Chess.com is stupid. Okay. So. Okay, we're gonna do all results for Equinox. See, I hate the website of chess.com because it has pop-up ads and it's just slow and unresponsive. Okay, so now hopefully, okay, I'm seeing multiple people here. So, which of these three are you? Because, well, okay, now it only has an option to challenge this one on the top. Interesting. Wait, but those are also other usernames. Although it could be the same person but multiple accounts. We don't know. Yeah, the the fella that is online. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, because I'm yeah, because it says the fella that is online. Because yeah, because see when I try to search for Equinox Tremor, it shows all three of those. So oh I see. There's a green. Okay. So let's see here. We're gonna try this. Oh, okay. Nice. Wait a minute. So, if you're online right now, okay, the first one. Nice. Okay, let's try this. Let's try. Okay, we'll just do standard 10-minute rapid. Let's just try that. Let's see. If you're online right now, let's try this. I'll send a challenge. Oh, are we? Oh, nice. Are we actually in a game? Okay. There we are. Oh, nice. Sweet. Okay. I'm actually in a game with the person who was commenting on my Twitch stream. Okay. Thank you, Equinox. This is the excitement I live for here. This is what Chastity's chess challenge is all about here. Ooh, you got the knight to f6. All right. Then I'll take your pawn. Okay, now I'll get this pawn moved up the center. I've got both center pawns and I'm scaring your knight away. Let's try this. See how this works. I'm loving it. Now I can't see the chat at the same time as playing, but we're probably both focused on this game here. Okay, need to start getting some pieces out. Let's get this knight out here. That's good. I got the knight to f3. Okay, now you've got my knight pinned there. Very interesting. Well, okay. What I'm about to do may seem completely insane. I'm just gonna ignore that over there. I'm gonna move this knight right there. It's weird, I know, but I'm just gonna move that knight over there to a3, and I'm not gonna reveal my reason. um, oh, okay. I don't want to take that. If I take it with a knight, you take my queen. If I take it with the pawn, you take my queen with your queen. But if I move this pawn forward one square, then you can't do anything. Nice. Okay. Very nice. I love chess. So much to think about. Okay. Okay. Now okay, so here's the thing is if I take that pawn, you can come and trade queens. You can take my queen. And I don't like that. I don't like that very much. So instead, okay, this is weird. This is completely whack what I'm doing here. But I don't wait. Do I want to do that, or can I defend? You know what? Let's just, yeah, let's go with it. You can take you can take my knight with your knight, or you can take my pawn with your pawn, and we're just gonna see. I'm living dangerously, guys. I'm just living dangerously. I don't know what's going down here. This is wild. Oh man, thanks for playing. Thanks for playing, Equinox. This is awesome. Oh, Equinox Tremor says those are all my accounts. Nice. Yeah. I know how it is. You probably started an account, probably lost your login info, your username and password and all that, and then had to start a new account. That's usually the way it goes, isn't it? Okay. So now I'm going to threaten their bishop there. That's where it gets freaky. So now they kind of have to move their bishop, which is interesting. They could still take my pawn with their pawn, and then I would trade queens with them. That's totally how it would go. That would be awesome. Oh, okay. So instead, they took my knight finally with their bishop, which means I can now capture back with my queen, and let's see where things go from now. Let's see how this goes. I'm loving it. This is what I love. It's a cool thing that I still have my chess.com account. I do have an account. I don't get to play on here as much as I play Lichess, but I have it. So thanks for giving me a reason to bring it out. Nice. Okay. Well, how about checkmate? Okay. That was pretty good. My man, my knight and my queen were just in the right position for that. Like just the way it happened, the way you took my knight and my queen just so happened to be in that spot. I didn't even plan it that way. I totally didn't plan it that way. It's just I was trying to use the knight to attack your bishop. Your bishop took my knight, my queen captured back, and then it's like, oh, checkmate. Like, dude. Equinox says, I'm so booty. Oh, that's right, you guys. You guys can see the chat. You can see the chat. It shows up on the bottom of the screen there. That's so nice. Thanks for playing. Want to try another? All right. Let's do a rematch then. Let's let's do it. All right. Oh, nice. I get to play as black. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, playing as black now. I'm using my French defense. I love to do it. I just love to do it. Oh, this is okay. This is a good night. Even if I get nothing else accomplished tonight, this is still a very good night. Okay, I got the French defense. Here's kind of this is the normal variation. Ooh, advanced variation. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this pawn moved there so that they can't put me in check with that bishop because I don't want that. I don't want to be put in check with the bishop. Okay, I could take that, but then that's still bad. It's still a bad idea. So instead, I'm going to just move this pawn forward 2 squares and see who captures whose pawns first. Okay. Now I'm going to bring my queen over here. Yeah, kind of a weird attack, I know, but I'm trying to go somewhere with this. I have a plan, but my queen alone isn't gonna do it. I'm gonna need more of my pieces involved if I'm gonna do something. Okay, this is good. It's nice playing chess with the person I'm actually talking to here. And I guess everything is going well with the stream. I mean, I got the nice scenes going on. Ooh, okay. So there's that. Hmm. Oh, I see. So if I were to, yeah, I'll go there. Can I take their rook? Can I do it? I might be able to take their rook if they don't mess me up. I say they very generically because I don't know your gender. Doesn't matter to me. I'm transgender myself. Uh, okay. Hmm. Well, interesting. So I can't take their I can't yeah, I can't take their rook there. Um yeah, okay. I'm just gonna retreat my queen back right to where it was for lack of anything better to do. They're probably gonna move their rook there. Of course, if I reveal too much of my plans, then my opponent can hear it on my stream and use it against me. So I have to consider that. But honestly, after the way I smoked you in the last game, you might need all the help you can get. I'm just trash talking because you said you're trash. So I'm gonna trash talk you, man. Nothing personal, just business. Oh man. Oh, we have another one of those bots. That yeah, that that bot is it's sexy repif. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. It's one of those spam things trying to get you to buy views on your Twitch stream. Like I'm not sure that's legal, and I want people to watch my Twitch stream because they're real people who love chess, not bots. Don't get me wrong, I love robots, but I prefer that human connection for playing chess. Okay, this is weird. This is very weird. I'm gonna move that knight there. Of all the strange things I could do, I'm moving that knight there. Even though it goes against my own advice that I shared at the beginning of the stream about the good places, you see, I can't move the knight to its natural spot because of that pawn. It's on e5, yeah, guarding the f6 square. Ooh, wow, dude. Just wow. Okay, so now see, I can get this knight out here. Okay, I'm going for something, but let's see if Equinox Tremor can see what I'm doing here. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing. I'm having great fun. Thank you for joining my stream. It would have been sad to just end it without playing some chess against a real person that I'm chatting with online, man. This is nice. Chess is so much fun, dude. If you're autistic and a nerd like me, obviously. Oh, it's my turn. I did not even know it's my turn now. Okay, so if I do that, they can do that. I can do that. They can do that. Hmm. Wait a minute. That. Um. Okay. Strange. Okay. I'm not gonna do any attacks yet. Instead, I'm thinking I will just. Yeah, I'm just gonna move that knight there. It works. Ooh, the French defense is going well so far. Okay, so now what they're doing there, so I could retreat my queen. I could retreat the queen, or I could do that instead. It's probably better if I do retreat the queen here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just going to retreat the queen. I don't want my queen to get taken, so I'm just going to see. Part of the reason of moving that pawn in front of that rook on squares is it allows you to do things like this later in the game. You never know when you might need to just have a little hiding hole for your queen. Okay, so if I do that, okay, so now is the time I'm going to take this pawn. Yeah, I'm just going to take that pawn with my pawn. Now we're just going to see how it goes. I think that's fine. Okay, this is good. Okay, this is good. I see. Because, oh, now okay, yeah, the pawn attacked the bishop, and then the bishop ran away. That's what happened. Hmm. Okay, I can't do much else right now with that. Now I can do that. Okay, that doesn't accomplish much of anything. However, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to get this bishop strategically moved over here to add another defender to this pawn, as well as get out of my way in case my king wants to castle over here. Although I'm not really sure if castling on that side is a good option. But castling on the other side wouldn't be a bad idea. There's rooks over there that could put me in check. Oh man, there's a lot of strategy, a lot of thought that goes into chess. I have, I basically have almost infinite mental stamina. But Walmart destroys my brain. I don't want to work at Walmart, but I have no choice. I have to work a job, and nobody else wants me. That's the story of my life. Nobody wants me. Ah, okay. Well, this knight, well, now this knight has to retreat. Yeah, okay, the knight has to run away because it has nothing going on good there. So the knight will run away. That's how it will go. Okay. Hmm. So now how will we handle this? Okay, my bishop is under attack. Okay, my bishop is under attack there. So I could do that, or I could do that. Okay, this is weird. This is a completely weird move. We're gonna advance that pawn right there. You can take the pawn. You can totally take the pawn. Think carefully on this one. Oh man. Oh, all right. Now, see, I get to put the king in check there because the bishop is protected by my queen. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm an idiot. That was stupid. I just lost my bishop for no good reason because I was being stupid. Okay. Hmm. All right. What we're gonna do now, we're going to advance that pawn. I'm not gonna queen trade. Not when I'm behind in material. That was just a stupid thing I did there. That was so unnecessary to do that. I should have just let you take the bishop as it was. That's what I should have done. Oh well, that was just a bad mistake. Lost the bishop for nothing. Well, I got to take a pawn. It's not all bad. I got to take a pawn, right? That's something. Ooh, okay. All right, so let's capture that knight. We can totally do that and capture the knight. Okay. So now, wait, do I want to do that? No, I don't really want to do that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to get this rook should be lined up with that pawn because I see a deadly attack coming. Oh man, dude. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, I'm going to threaten your queen. Oh man, the time is already getting low in this game. Okay, we have to. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to close that hole so that queen can't come there anymore. Ooh, okay. So now we're doing this again. Very well. It is what it is. All right, now it's time for me to castle. I'm gonna get this king to safety before something really, really bad happens. And the time is getting critically low. Now I am forced to move a little bit faster than I was before. All right, let's threaten the queen there. What? What? Good job. Good job. Good job, Equinox. How did I not notice that the bishop and the queen were. That was good. Oh man. Oh, did you want any more? Or are you too tired? I'll send a rematch and see if you accept or not. How about that? This is awesome. Chess is just way too awesome. Oh, he says I need to wakey wakey at 4 a.m. Okay, well then that's enough for tonight. Okay, well you have a good night, Equinox Tremor. Then that'll be enough for tonight. Alrighty, very well. Thank you for playing. We'll have to play again sometime, Equinox Tremor. You made the stream fun. Thank you. Oh, thanks for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Now you'll be notified if I stream again, which I will be. I'll probably be streaming on a Saturday or a Monday night. My night's off. This was perfect. This is the perfect stream. Thank you for making it great, and thank you for the follow.